Today we're going to be ranking all of the companions in Fallout 4. And first we have Codsworth, and Codsworth is my favorite early game companion. He's just so likable, he has a great accent, and I think that his story with the sole survivor relating back to before the bombs fell is just very compelling for your first companion. It makes a lot of sense that you would travel with something familiar versus Preston or Dogmeat even. So I really like Codsworth. Always take him at the start of the game. He's going to go into B tier for me. Then I have X688. He is the Institute's companion. He's a little bit tough because he does exactly what he's supposed to be. He's a cold-blooded killer. He doesn't have emotion. He's out there to do his job and serve the Institute. They do it effectively. I mean, that is what he is, but it's also kind of boring. Because of that, I'm going to put him into D tier. Next, we have MacCready, and I really like MacCready. I mean, MacCready goes all the way back to Fallout 3. He has a lot of story. He brings the most information we even get about the Gunners, which is really interesting, especially since we don't get to learn much about the Gunners throughout the game. And then his storyline with his son is very compelling. You know, working as a mercenary to get money so that he can try to find a cure for his son's disease. It makes total sense. I would have loved if we could have actually sent MacCready on his way to his son, given him a bunch of money possibly, helped him out in that regard, but either way, the way the story is told in Fallout 4, he's a remarkable companion. I'm going to put him into A tier. And then we have Dogmeat, Fallout Legacy character. I mean, when you think of Fallout companions, I mean, he's like the one, right? Like, he is the Fallout companion. He's amazing. You really can't go wrong with a dog. He works on every single playthrough. Any type of character you're playing, you can always take Dogmeat with you, so he's gonna go into S tier. Then we have Deacon. And Deacon, while he is more dynamic than X688 as a faction companion, I still just don't like him. I don't like how he lies. I don't like his personal story and dialogue. It just isn't very compelling to me because I don't know if any of it's even true. So he's more dynamic than maybe some other characters, but I don't really ever like running with him unless I'm doing the Railroad quest line. So he's going to go into C tier for me. And then we have Old Longfellow. Old Longfellow is fine. It's nice that Far Harbor and Nuka World have their own companions to come with those DLCs, and I like the journey he takes you on to get to Acadia, but it's hard because Far Harbor really feels like Nick's DLC. There's so much more dialogue and interesting story beats with Nick Valentine than there even really is with Longfellow. So it kind of puts him on the wayside. So he's fine. There's nothing really wrong with Longfellow, but there isn't a lot that makes me want to run him as a companion, so I'm going to put him into D tier for that reason. Then we have Piper. Piper is an amazing character, but not a great companion, because I don't think she should really be one. I understand her traveling with you for a time, but I don't really see any scenario where it makes sense for her to travel with you for the whole game, or stay at one of your settlements, or even be a romanceable companion. I mean, the romance aspect is fine, but she should return back to public occurrences. That's where her sister is, Nat, and she likes being a reporter. She likes running the newspaper, and that makes total sense. That's her character. To leave her sister, who's quite young, by the way, like just alone in Diamond City for a long period of time, just doesn't make sense to me. So I like her as a character a lot. She's very interesting, but she's just not a great companion, and because of that, I'm going to put her into B tier. Now we have Curie. Curie is intelligent and optimistic and naive. It creates a very unique experience to travel with Curie. She gives you kind of a different perspective on the world around you, and that's a pretty successful companion in my opinion. If they make you view the world around you differently, I mean, that's what they're there to do. On top of that, her personal quest is fun and interesting. Going from a robot to a synth body, the kind of terminal notes and backstory with the vault scientist. It's just all around very good. I don't think she's amazing, but a very, very good companion. I'm gonna go into B tier for Kiri. And then we have Kate. Kate is one of my favorite companions in the whole game. The tragedy of her backstory with her parents and her battle with addiction and that whole process that you go through with her is very personal, and I think she makes a ton of sense to be a companion after the combat zone. She is the companion I take with me if I'm not taking Nick with me, or other companions for their quest lines or things like that. She's kind of a default companion for me. I really like Kate. She's going to go into S tier. Then we have Porter Gage. He's not my favorite, honestly. I like playing the games, making the decisions the way I would make them, and I would never be a raider. I kind of like that he's kind of a slimy, backstabby, like right-hand man. That makes sense for a raider companion versus like just some kind of henchman. So like I like that aspect of it. He definitely could be a worse companion, but I don't like him in any way. So pretty much just run him while I'm doing Nuka World to get his companion perk, and then I'm completing open season and he's not surviving, so he's gonna go into D tier. Now we have Ada. Ada is fine. I like the Mechanist quest line, and I always take her with me on that, but her revenge arc is kind of basic. I understand why she feels that way, but I don't have any personal connection to the revenge plotline, so she's just fine. I'm going to put her into D tier. Now we have Hancock, and Hancock is a really fun companion, from him being a ghoul, to the outfit he wears, to the way he introduces himself killing Finn. Like, this guy has aura, he's super cool, awesome, fun person to like travel with for a time, but he's kind of like Piper, where I don't think it makes a ton of sense for him to be a long-term companion. He's the mayor of Goodneighbor, and he's good at it, and he likes it no matter what he really says. I know when you complete the quest to rob him, he says he needs to go out and be a part of the wasteland for a while, get in touch with that part of him again. So take him with you for a while, go through his dialogue. Other than that, I think he really needs to just return back to Goodneighbor. That's where he belongs, and I don't really see him being a long-term companion or ever staying at any of my settlements. So for that reason, he's going to go into B tier. Then we have Strong, and I really want to like a super mutant companion. I love super mutants, especially in New Vegas. There's so many kind of interesting story beats with Marcus and Nightkin, and there's, you know, Lily is a remarkable super mutant companion. Strong is not. He doesn't ever shut up. He dislikes about every single thing you do, and he doesn't really have any good story. Like, he's just kind of there. So I'm going to put Strong in F tier. He's just clearly the worst companion. On the flip side, we have Nick Valentine, who, in my opinion, is not only the best companion in Fallout 4, but the best companion in any Fallout game, if not one of the best written characters in all of Fallout, period, alongside House and like maybe the Ghoul. I just love Nick. He's tied in directly with the main storyline, from finding Kellogg to being a synth himself to Sean being kidnapped by the Institute. It's very natural to go and save Nick, take him with you, find Kellogg, and just keep running with him. He has a lot of great dialogue at very pivotal moments of the game, and then his own side story, the personal story of the original Nick Valentine, Eddie Winter, and that's so just cool to be a detective. Like, that's just fun. And then you have a whole DLC where you get to go learn a lot more about the backstory of synth Nick Valentine and what that was like. he's all over in this game. Amazing character, very likable. He is my favorite companion in any game, probably, not just Fallout games. Then we have Preston Garvey. First thing I have to clarify is I'm not considering his settlement raiding quests spam. I know it's a meme, I get it, but that's not really his character, so I'm not really going to weigh that here. I think Preston is the perfect Minutemen faction companion. From, being depressed and desperate at the start of the game, doing everything he can to save people, and ultimately struggling and almost failing at that, to desperately appointing you general, and then the two of you rebuilding the Minutemen together. I really like him as the Minutemen companion, and I almost always run him in the middle of the game as I'm building up the Minutemen and doing those quests. He's just a great faction companion. I'm gonna put him into B tier, probably about there. And then we have Danse. Danse is the best faction companion. Just like, even though I don't really like the Brotherhood, being introduced to the Brotherhood through Danse, and then when the Prydwen comes, and just that whole world changing and following him with that, keeping him as a companion throughout all that Brotherhood questline, and then Blind Betrayal being one of the best quests in the game, and really making those who are siding with the Brotherhood of Steel like contemplate their decision and think about what they're doing and what Maxson wants them to do and whether they're going to do it or not. The only thing I wish is that Maxson made you join the Brotherhood and kill Danse or leave. I would have kind of preferred that, but even with the story the way it is, it's an amazing quest, one of the best in the game, and Danse is a remarkable companion and a really well-written soldier character. I really like Danse. He's going to go into A tier for me. And there's my list. Let me know what you think. Do you think Nick is one of the best companions in Fallout? And do you think my gripe on Piper and Hancock makes sense? Great characters, but maybe not the best companions. And then just tell me how much you hate Strong, because I think everyone does.